Here is going to be the wonder. First time up, can he do 5 minutes and use all this shit? I don't know. But we'll find out. Welcome Steve Sherman. Let him hear it, Steve.
Fucking bright in here. Hi. I'm gonna have to read this. I'm sorry. You know, I'm 71, and you know that's the way it is. Well, I'm from New Jersey, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Maybe two things: Chris Christie and the weather. Well, Chris Christie just got replaced. Some guy named Murphy. Well, both are shitty, you know. Anyway, I taught science in New Jersey for 32 years. Yeah, that's why I am the way. In the 70s, I couldn't get a job. I went to many places, but I couldn't get a job. I was a biology teacher, 22 years old. Man, there was 100 people waiting in line. So I went home and I told my father my problem. He said, all right, it was a Friday afternoon. He said, I'll talk to my union. And this was the times of Jimmy Hoffa. So it was a Friday, I had a job by Monday. Yeah. I was gonna teach math. I never taught math before. Well, it was in Newark, New Jersey. Okay? They paid $100 a day. In those days, in the 70s, that was a lot of money. I was going to be a permanent sub. I found out I was the third one in a month. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about that experience, just a little bit. I asked for some supplies. Well, the chairman of the department came down and gave me 12 pencils, an eraser, no paper. I had nothing. And besides that, I was broke. So I broke the pencils in half, actually 3 pieces, so each of my 30 kids could have a pencil. Well, little did I know, they lock you in the room with the 30 kids. I didn't know that until I had to go to the bathroom and I couldn't get out of the room. Anyway, these kids were smart. They all figured me out right away. I couldn't pronounce their names, and I had 150 of these kids a day. They used to jump out the window and come back just before the class was over. You know, trying to teach math with no paper, no books, nothing. I felt like jumping out the window with them. Well, the chairman told me to improvise. Well, you know, improvise. I made it for about a month. Then, I want to tell you about another job I had in a little Italian town in northern New Jersey. And I was there for 32 years, so I guess I liked it. So I taught science there, and it worked out pretty good for me. Now, the kids used to give me presents, and I got all kinds of presents. Some of the presents were good, like I had about 150 mugs. We had one teacher that actually said to the kids, don't give me any more mugs. I got plenty of mugs. I wasn't that crass, you know. I took everything. You know, it worked out. It was a tradition. I also, you know, I taught kindergarten to 4th grade. Believe it or not, I taught kindergarten. Right? No experience again. I walked in, there were 25 kids, this big. You know? This is after teaching, you know. Anyway, I thought I could learn on the job. You know, it was difficult. And the kids gave me presents. I'm going to tell you a story about presents. It was Christmas time, and you know, the kids were lined up in front of me. We were sitting down, and I was yelling at, excuse me.
Oh, hell yeah!
This is my wife. She's a nurse. I need a nurse, believe me.
Sherman!
Oh, this is going over 5 minutes, but I'm sorry. We'll get to this in a minute. The kids are sitting. Don't break it. The kids are sitting in front of me, and I'm looking at this kid that's pulling this other kid's hair. And I didn't see this nicely decorated present. You know, I'm opening up the present, looking at this kid, and before I know it, I got this in my hands. So some little girl in the front says, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, it's a ring toss. Just put it on the ground, and you try to get the rings on it." Luckily, you know, she must have taken the wrong thing from the tree. This was in the lab. I taught science. I told you. 8th grade, 19 years. That's why, you know, that's why I am the way I am. Anyway, the kids. Holy shit. This was all over the lab. So I had to teach them static electricity because I didn't want to give it up. This present, this came from one of the kids. He said, "Shove it up your ass, Mr. Sherman, you're a real prick." These came from a kid who wanted to actually fight me. I went down to the gym and he was sitting there waiting for me. This was a senior I had one time in my career. He was a real stoner. So this is what he said to me. He gave me this for Christmas. This is real deep, real deep. This was a teacher that gave up too much homework on weekends.
Something told me we weren't getting through all this luggage. I just knew it. One more. It better be fucking good, Steve. Like, oh yeah, well that one was heavy.
Another teacher gave me this because I always complained and I had no change.
Steve Sherman! I'll pull it. And his handy assistant.